Hello again, I'm Chris Carl and welcome to my intermediate handicapping course. We're here at the beautiful Palm Beach Kennel Club, and in this course I'm going to teach you how to structure bets. In my basic course I showed you how to handicap a dog race and predicted the finishing order of the dogs based on my point system. That race was the first half of a tri-super and I had 4 winning first half tickets. I spent $10 each for those winning tickets. I know that those of you who watched the basic course are eager to know how I structured my bets, but because the race that I handicapped in the basic course was the first half of a tri-super, I'm going to save the bet structuring and strategy for that race until the advanced course. In this course, I'm going to teach you how to structure bets. That is, how to take the dogs that you rank with my handicapping system and arrange them into winning bets. I'm going to teach you how to structure bets that win. As I said in the basic course, few people are good handicappers and even fewer people know how to structure bets. If you haven't watched the basic course, do yourself a favor and watch it, because some of the things that I consider to be basic are far more advanced than most handicappers will ever learn. The handicapping chart that I included with the basic course takes you step by step through the handicapping process that took me over 15 years to develop. It takes the guesswork out of handicapping. The chart alone is worth the price of the basic course. I want to point out again that this is gambling and there's no such thing as a guaranteed winner. Please do me a favor and never gamble with money that you can't afford to lose. The only way to win consistently is with hard work and money that you are not afraid to bet. I don't care how much you bet on a given race, and it doesn't matter. What does matter are wasted dollars. Wasted dollars make the difference between winning and losing. There's no excuse for wasting a dollar. I'm going to teach you how to win more races with less money. That may sound like a pretty bold statement, but I have taught many serious handicappers how to win more money by learning to structure their bets. The race that we are going to structure bets for in this course is a real treat. We're going to make quinella, trifecta, and superfecta bets, and then watch as Patsy Rendezvous tries to extend her world record to 37 consecutive wins. Whatever your budget is, I will show you how to structure a bet that will make the most of your betting dollar. I will show you how many bettors waste money and where. Patsy Rendezvous holds the all-time world record for the most consecutive wins. Here at Palm Beach, we call her Rhonda. She has won 36 straight races. She won all those races here at Palm Beach and has only been seriously challenged in a few of those races. She's an incredible dog. As she tries to extend her record, she is faced with a new challenge. That is a rise in class. Some of the best dogs in the country are here. They have come here to try and beat her. I watched the other dogs run schooling races the other night and I was impressed. I don't think that Rhonda is going to win tonight. As a matter of fact, I think that she will do very well to take third. This is how my handicapping system ranked the dogs and projected the finishing order for this race. The 3 dog had 24 points and the 5 dog had 24 points. The 1 dog had 21 points. The 6 dog had 20 points. The 2 dog scores 18 points. The 7 dog, which is Patsy Rendezvous, scores 16 points. The 8 dog scores 15 points. And the 4 dog scores 14 points. For those of you who watched my basic course, this is where we left off. That is, with a projected finishing order based on points. I've chosen this race to teach bet structuring because we can bet a regular superfecta and it is not part of a twin trifecta or a tri-super. Let me explain the different types of bets that are available in dog racing and point out the overall odds of winning each particular type of bet. Then I will show you how I'm going to structure bets for this race. Basic wagers are for win, place, and show. A win bet pays if the dog that you bet on wins or is in a dead heat. That is a tie for win. In an 8-dog race, the odds are 1 in 8 that any given dog will win. However, the bet pays off according to the final win odds, which are based on the amount wagered on each dog. A place bet pays if the dog that you bet on finishes first or second, or is in a tie for first or second. Here again, the place bet payoff will depend on the amount bet on each dog, but the overall odds for a dog to place in an 8-dog race is 1 in 4. A show bet pays if the dog finishes first, second, or third, or in a tie for any one of those positions. A show bet will pay off based on the amount bet on each dog, but the overall odds are 3 in 8 that a dog will show. More exotic and higher paying bets include the exacta which means picking the first and second dogs in order. In an 8-dog race, there are 56 exacta combinations, meaning that the overall odds are 1 in 56. Here too, the payoff is determined by how much is bet on each of the 56 combinations and how many winners there are. A quinella means picking the first and second dogs in any order. There are 28 quinella combinations in an 8-dog race, and the overall odds are 1 in 28 that any quinella will come in. Of course, like all the other bets, the payoff will depend on how many winners there are and the amount in the quinella pool. A trifecta means picking the first, second, and third place finishers. There are 336 possible trifecta combinations, so the overall odds are 1 in 336 that any given trifecta will come in. The payoff is determined by the number of winners and the amount in the trifecta pool. A superfecta means picking the first 4 finishers. There are 1,680 possible superfecta combinations. And like all of the other bets, the amount of money in the superfecta pool is divided among the winners. Occasionally there is no outright winner in a superfecta, and a consolation payoff is made to those who came closest to the winning bet. That is, those who picked the winner, second place, and third place, and sometimes even first and second place. A daily double involves picking the winners for 2 consecutive races. In races where there are 8 dogs, the overall odds of a daily double combination paying off are 1 in 64. But the actual payoff is based on the amount in the daily double pool and the amount of winners. A bet 3 means picking the winner in 3 consecutive races. The overall odds of winning a bet 3 are 1 in 512. The payoff is determined by the amount in the bet 3 pool and the number of winners. As in the superfecta, there are occasionally times when there is a consolation payoff because there is no outright winner. In this situation, the pool will be divided among those who have picked 2 of the 3 winners. A quinella double involves picking a quinella in 2 consecutive races. There are 784 possible combinations in a quinella double, and the payoff is determined by the amount in the pool and the number of winners. As in the superfecta and the bet 3, a consolation payoff is made if there is no outright winner. The pool is then split by those who had the first quinella and half of the second quinella. The consolation payoff is determined by the amount of consolation winners. A twin trifecta involves picking the trifecta in 2 races. The odds of winning are an overwhelming 112,896 to 1. A winning ticket from the first trifecta gives you a payoff and a chance to win the pool in the second trifecta. If no one wins the second half, the carryover pool grows until someone wins or there is a mandatory payout. A tri-super involves picking a trifecta in one race and a superfecta in another. The overall odds are an incredible 564,480 to 1. Here again, a winning ticket in the first trifecta gives you a payoff and a chance at the superfecta pool. If nobody wins, the superfecta pool carries over until someone does win or there is a mandatory payout. When there is a mandatory payout of a twin trifecta or a tri-super, the carryover pool is divided among the first half winners if there is no outright winner. I will get into that situation in the advanced course. My point in giving you the overall odds for these bets is not to scare you. By handicapping a race with my system, we dramatically cut the odds. My point is to make you aware of the overall odds and give you an indication of what exactly a good bet is. If you handicap a race with my system and chart, and they indicate that you should bet on a dog that is going to pay even close to the overall odds for a particular bet, then you are getting a tremendous bargain. This is exactly the situation that I look for when I go to the races. I don't always win that particular race, but when I do, the payoff is well worth it. The program will tell you which wagers are available on each race. The program will also describe some bet structures. Many people box quinellas, trifectas, and superfectas. Boxes are not bad bets in some races if the right dogs are in the box, but in most races, a key or a partial wheel is a much better bet. A box is a bet which wins if the dogs in the box finish in any order in the box bet, be it a quinella, exacta, trifecta, or superfecta. The problem with a box is that many combinations that you pay for are wasted. In a 4-dog trifecta box, there are 24 different combinations that will win. Equal wagers are placed on all the dogs in the box, and in most cases, not all the dogs can win. much of the wager is wasted. A key is a bet which puts one dog in a designated position with other dogs. A key is much cheaper than a box, but the key dog must finish in the designated position for the bet to be a winner. A good handicapper will usually choose a key over a box in most races because it is a more efficient bet. A wheel or a partial wheel is a bet where dogs are placed in a trifecta or superfecta in certain positions. Many good handicappers are not aware of this bet. I think that the partial wheel is the best way to structure a trifecta or a superfecta wager. If you have studied my method of handicapping or have somehow reached a level of competency in which you can feel certain that one or two dogs will win a race and that there are 2 or 3 or 4 dogs that can place second, then the partial wheel is the only bet structure that makes sense. This is a partial wheel with the 3 and the 5 dogs in first, the 3 and the 5 dogs in second, and the 1, 2, 7 in third. The cost of this wheel is $6. If one dog is much better than the rest of the dogs in a race, it is a mistake to bet a box. By the same token, if there are 2 or 3 dogs that are much better than the rest of the dogs in a race, the best bet is to make a partial wheel, using the best dogs positioned over some or all of the other dogs. This is an illustration of a $4 trifecta wheel. The 3 and the 5 dogs are in first and second place, and the 1 and 7 dogs are in third place. This bet pays if the trifecta is 3-5-1, 3-5-7, 5-3-1, or 5-3-7. I want to point out that in any race, all dogs can come in fourth. In most races, all dogs can come in third. All it takes is a missed break or a bump, and any dog can be out of the money. In a partial wheel, I can take this into consideration, and there are 2 good reasons why. First, I don't want to lose the bet if one of my top-ranked dogs has a bad race for any reason. Second, if a lowly ranked dog runs a good race or benefits from another dog getting bumped, I want to be there to collect because the payoff will be a good one. I've won many high-paying trifectas and superfectas because of my ability to construct a wheel that uses the dogs that the other bettors are leaving out. Rather than having 2 dogs in third place in a trifecta, I will usually have all the dogs in third. In a superfecta, I will usually have all dogs in fourth place. Based on my system of handicapping dogs and what I have taught you about structuring bets so far, let's make our bets for this historic Patsy Rendezvous race and see how they compare with other bet structuring possibilities. My suggested bet here is a quinella key with the 3 dog keyed over the 1, 5, and 6. The cost is $6. I'm also going to bet a trifecta wheel with the 3 and the 5 dogs in first, the 3 and the 5 dogs in second, and all the dogs in third. The cost of this bet is $12. I'm going to bet a superfecta wheel with the 3 and the 5 in first, the 3 and the 5 in second, the 1, 2, 6, 7 in third, and all dogs in fourth. The cost for this superfecta wheel is $40. Now my total cost for all these bets is $58. What I have done is given myself a chance at a big payoff in the trifecta and superfecta by making a partial wheel that has every dog in it. I have spent much less than many other bettors are spending. At this point, I am hoping that I am right about my first and second ranked dogs and hope that another dog or 2 will also beat Patsy Rendezvous. Here are some other possible bets and what they cost. In order to include all the dogs that I have included in my bets would cost a fortune without the use of a partial wheel. The people who regularly use boxes are lost here. They might box 4 dogs in a quinella for $12, but as far as a trifecta goes, there's just no way. A 6-dog trifecta box is $120. A 6-dog superfecta box is $360. The total bet is $492, and they still don't have all the dogs that I have in my bets. My bets are $58. Now the people who use keys fall somewhere between me and the boxers. Here, a quinella key with the 3 over the 1, 5, 6 is $6. That's the same bet that I have. However, in order to get a trifecta key with 5 dogs in it is $20. So the 3 over the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 is a $20 bet. Then again, to key the 5 over the 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 is another $20. As far as the superfecta key goes, the 3 over the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 is $60, and the 5 over the 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 is $60 again. The total bet is $166, and here again, I paid $58 for my bets. Even though these bets are considerably more expensive than my key and wheels, there are dogs missing. Structuring bets depends on knowledge of the various types of bets along with one's handicapping skills. Without both knowledge of the possible bets and handicapping skill, any chance of winning depends totally on luck. Let's watch as Patsy Rendezvous goes for number 37.
Here comes Rusty. And they're off. That's Picky Princess popping the lid. Patsy Rendezvous rushing up to the inside. 4-8 on the outside. 5-1, 6-2. Racing by us for the first time. It's Picky Princess in command. Patsy Rendezvous racing second. Mishka on the inside and 4. As they race around the paddock room turn and come out onto the backstretch. It's still Picky Princess in front by 4. Patsy Rendezvous racing second. Mishka on the insides and Oshkosh Idolize. Entering the final turn, it's Picky Princess in front by 3. Patsy Rendezvous on the inside. Heading for home. The streak is ended. The winner, Picky Princess.
Well, you've just seen the end to an incredible winning streak. My system worked on this race and I won the quinella, the trifecta, and the superfecta. Don't get me wrong, I did want to see Rhonda win this race, but when I handicapped this race, I could see that she was in for a very tough race. I have no doubt that there were many losers in this race, many of whom cashed tickets but spent more on the tickets than they collected. This is a good race to watch and to highlight factors that we look for in dog races. Let's watch this race again and highlight some of the important things that I taught you in my basic course. First, we look at overall speed. Because these dogs all ran here recently, I have a basis for comparison. I ranked the dogs by overall speed. It only makes sense that if the fastest dog gets the lead, he will win. This is why early speed is so important. We need to know where a dog likes to run on the track, that is, inside, middle, or outside, to determine whether it runs the risk of a collision. We need to know if a dog has closing ability. Can it come from behind? Is the dog rising or dropping in class? In this race, Patsy Rendezvous showed every indication of a winner, like she had in all her last 36 races. The only difference is that the class of dogs here tonight is stronger than she has ever competed with. The early and overall speed of the number 3 dog was the fastest, and the overall speed and closing ability of the number 5 dog allowed him to catch Patsy Rendezvous in the stretch. I showed you how a partial wheel can stretch your dollar, and how the all-time world record winning streak of Patsy Rendezvous came to an end. I want to explain more about the partial wheel. I was taught how to make a partial wheel by an old friend who bets on harness racing. His theory was to make a partial wheel to cover his bet if something happened to a horse. Harness racing is much more predictable than dog racing, but the theory is great. You make a partial wheel for a trifecta or a superfecta with the dog who you think can win in the first position. You also put the second best dog in the first position in the wheel in case the best dog has a bad race. And you put the top 3 dogs into second place in the wheel and the top 4 dogs into third place in the wheel. As I have said, in a superfecta, I usually have all the dogs in 4th position. Every race is different and you should bet every race the way that handicapping dictates. With my handicapping system, I usually use 4 points as a basis for determining which dogs rate consideration. That is, if the top dog scores 24 points with my system, I will usually put the top dog and any dog with 20 or more points in first position in the wheel. In second position, I will include all the dogs that I have in the first position, plus any dogs that score within 4 points of the lowest ranked dog that I have in the first position. I use the same formula for third place in my wheel. That is, any dog whose point total comes within 4 points of any dog that I have in second position, rates being in third place. As you structure a wheel for each race, you have to be aware of how much each wheel is going to cost. Let's take a look at the projected finishing order of the race that we handicapped in the basic course. This is how my system ranked the dogs in that race. The 6 dog had 24 points, the 2 dog had 23 points, the 8 dog had 19 points, the 5 dog had 14 points, the 3 and the 4 dogs each had 13 points, the 1 dog had 12 points, and the 7 dog had 9 points. By using the basis of 4 points to determine which dogs rate consideration in a bet, let's look at several ways in which we could structure bets for this race. The 6 dog has the most points with 24, so obviously I think the 6 dog can win and would have to have it in any bet in the win position. The 2 dog has 23 points, 1 point behind the 6 dog. I would say that the 2 dog could win, and I would have to have him in any bet in the win position. Now the 8 dog has 19 points, which is more than 4 points behind the 6 dog and exactly 4 points behind the 2 dog. Based on my 4-point basis, the 8 dog could come second. And ordinarily I would use the 8 dog in any type of bet, be it a box, key, or a wheel. At this point I've ruled out a box because I don't think the 8 dog can win, and any box bet with the 8 dog on top would be wasting money. Now the 5 dog has 14 points, the 3 and 4 dogs each have 13 points, and the 1 dog has 12 points. I don't think any of these dogs can win or even come second, but if anything happens to the 6, 2, or 8 dogs, then any one of these dogs could come third. The 7 dog has 9 points, and if there was a superfecta on this race, I would probably put the 7 dog into a bet in 4th place. But because there is no superfecta on this race, I'm going to take the 7 out of my bets. Based on how I analyzed this race, these are what my bet choices were. I could make a win, place, or show bet using the 2 or the 6. As far as the trifecta goes, I'd have to put the 2 and 6 on top, the 2, 6, 8 in second, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in third. That bet would cost $20. I could use another dollar tri-wheel, 2, 6 on top, 2, 6 in second, and 1, 3, 4, 5, 8 in third. The cost for this bet's $10. I could also use a trifecta key, 2 over the 6, 8. That's a $2 bet. I could use a key with the 6 over the 2, 8. That's another $2 bet. Or I could use a dollar tri-wheel, 2, 6 on top, 2, 6 in second, and 8 in third. That's another $2 bet. If I was going to bet a quinella here, I'd key the 2 with the 6, 8, or the 6 with the 2, 8. If I was going to bet a straight quinella, it would be the 2, 6. Now I had $40 in my budget for this race, and I bet the $1 tri-wheel, 2, 6 with the 2, 6 with the 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. That's a $10 bet, and I bet it 4 times for a total of $40. Obviously everyone has, or at least should have, some kind of a budget. In the races where the dogs are closely matched, you have to let your budget dictate how big your bet will be. You also have to have some kind of idea as to what the payoff might be and if the potential payoff is worth the bet. These are things that I will help you with in my advanced course. I will teach you the strategy that I have used to win twin trifectas and tri-supers. I will teach you how to establish a goal and a budget. I will give you 7 tips to help you win close races and show you a rarely used bet that is extremely effective in close races. Well, that wraps up my intermediate handicapping course. With what you learned in the basic course and the intermediate course, you should now be able to go to the track, handicap the dogs, and structure bets that win.
If you would like to know more about adopting a greyhound or more about the Greyhound Pets of America program, call the track anytime or ask for a brochure at the information window on the second floor. Bring some love into your home by adopting one of these gentle, loving animals now.
I'm Chris Carl with Buyer's Broker of Boca. Recent studies show that people who use a real estate company that represents only buyers can save up to 5% on the price of their homes. In this area, a 5% savings on the average home is over $9,000. Since 1991, we have been providing our clients the service and representation that all home buyers deserve. If you're in the market for a home, give us a call for a free consultation. We will save you time and money.